look, another sarcophagus for those of us who are Stargate fans. I think this one is different than the last. Feels like there's a crease here. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, they've got these tiny little fiberglass fiber wrapping on it. That's going to make a mess on my carpet. Okay, so that little crease there was kind of like a bang in the styrofoam. And there's the actual door right there, all along this edge. I can see the vacuum in my future. Now this is a different company than the last one. This one was ordered on February 1st. Today's May 24th. It's taken a while. Even though it's light, this fiberglass is, it's not actually fiberglass, it's more of a plastic weave. It's quite hard to cut. Even with my box cutter. Let me get around here, see if I can get the top part off. Where it is, about there. So the name of this company is Mengzhisheng, something like that. Oh, I'll put it up on the screen. So there's a little bit of bubble wrap around that fiber bag as well. Oh, look at that. I got a Rickenbacker logo. Oh, plus another one on the other side. So I got two cables, one Rickenbacker, one not. Okay. I've waited a long time. I hope it's as bright as it was supposed to be. And we're not going to try to be too good with it. Like that. Whew. Alright. And here it is. Look at that. No knob button. I wonder if it's in a bag. Yes, there is a knob button in the Rickenbacker bag. So, the back is sort of like just a clear over mahogany. So it's a bit trans on the back of the neck. You can actually see the scarf joint on this one here. It also has the Grover style tuners, and they say Grover on them. I wonder, well, they feel a little bit better from a Lucy perspective than the ones that came on the Fantasy. I don't have gold buttons to replace those. Well, okay. I saw this online with this quilted front, and I thought, wow, that's pretty beautiful. And I hummed and hawed about it for a while. And then I finally pulled the trigger, February 1. And I've been waiting ever since. There's a small little blemish right there. Well, it's not a blemish, it's an imperfection, where the yellow paint didn't get over right up to the edge. I think they sanded through that. Hard to see from a distance. And on this one, I had them leave the headstock completely blank, which was my first choice when I ordered this one. But at the end of the month, when I ordered the Fantasy, I decided to leave the diamond on it because I thought the diamond looked good. So I have an idea for the headstock here. The fret ends are not as bad as some, but they're all a little sharp along there. I'm sure they ran their coarse file, but not enough times. And they didn't remove the tooling marks. Now the action is not sky high on this one. It's down. Don't have any idea what kind of pickups that'll be. But you know, the back looks pretty good. I really like the grain on the back. And the edges with the 5-ply binding. Single ply along the neck and 5-ply around the headstock. Alright, let me feel the tuners. Oh, look what I noticed. The tuning posts are very low. Aha, that's different. Usually they're up a little bit more, a little bit higher. These are the lowest tuning posts I've ever had and seen. Alright, let me see how they feel. About 1/8 of an inch slop there. Same. Maybe 3/16, about 1/8, about 1/8. Right, they're probably workable. So this is it, the latest and greatest. So the output jack plate is black with black trim rings, and it's a black switch knob. The switch is reasonably solid. Strap locks are in place. So, from a aesthetic review, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I have to say, I waited a long time but it's not that bad. There's another small thing here, a little black dot. See that right there? I can feel that. It's not dirt. It's something in the poly. Right, so this guitar came in at also $360 Canadian. Oh, and free shipping from China. On the slow boat from China. These guys were also involved in the big COVID issue over there. They're also near Beijing, just outside Beijing somewhere. I did Google them. And I guess not only the manufacturing was a bit of a problem for them with shutdowns, but also transportation, as we're having here. The nut looks decently cut. It's a different format than the last one. This one is more the format of the tusk nut, although it's also very white. I think the tusk nut is more closely to the color of my binding here, while the nut here is white and the binding is more cream. So the tusk nut will probably be a better choice on this guitar. I'm glad I didn't put it on the Fantasy. Okay guys, you know what happens after this. Next step is to the bench. Downstairs. And under the artificial light, looking at the finish, there's a lot of swirling, micro swirls. There's some buffing issues around. Let's just get it down like that. There's some buffing issues right around the cavity here, where it's not polished well. There was, yeah, they went over the top of that. There was something else on the back that I noticed. Anyway, and there's some blemish here, right there, not polished up well. There is a imperfection in the wood underneath the finish, and I can feel it. It went into the divot, and there's also a small divot here, which is imperceptible from the camera, but it is there. And besides the thing that they did over here that I picked out earlier, there's some stain over onto the yellow here. What else was there? Oh yeah, 3 of the speed knobs are shiny. One of them is all roughed up. I don't know if that'll come out in the camera or not. There. See, the other ones are shiny glossy. And that one has scratches all over the top of it. And also, there's scratches on the tailpiece here. It's not, see, there's some scratches in there. It's not buffy shiny. The tuners are terrible. Took me a while. The nut is plastic. I can see the plastic residue on the inside here, where they cut it and didn't clean it like they normally do. I already mentioned the frets. And it is wired non-independent volumes. Why do you have a guitar with 2 volumes and then in the middle it's the same as having 1? Doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, based on this representation, I wouldn't recommend them. But for the Fantasy, if you want a nice looking guitar, I did have some fret problems. it's the tuners are also same style, but they're a little bit better on. I keep pointing there because it's sitting on the stand there. It's a little bit better than these gold ones. Yeah, these are atrocious. Hard, very hard to get it to tune in. And what else? Oh yeah, these have tiny frets. The other one has jumbo frets. The Fantasy Guitar Club has jumbo frets, like jumbo frets, and these are very small frets. All right, Mengzhisheng, a no-no. Let me just recheck this now. Oh, it's gone. It's gone again. It doesn't stay anywhere for long. Somebody's always out. There's the E is out again. The E is really hard to get. And it jumps and leaps and bounds. The ratio in these things must be atrocious. Okay, I think it's tuned good enough to let you hear it. Back on our basic 65 with no effects. Bridge. A couple of strums and it went out of tune. Yeah, so yeah, a lot more work to do on this, I think. I haven't looked inside. I just came downstairs with it. It's been on the couch all day. I had other things to do, and here we are. It's 10:40 at night, and I just finally got a chance to come downstairs and try to tune it. All right, let's go to the neck. The delta in the pickup, tonal wise, is similar to what's on the Fantasy, although I think the pickups on the Fantasy sound a little better. This still has the original bridge on here. It has the wire on it as well. Screws are in the front. I guess you could just barely get to them over the pickup. I did lower the pickup a little bit. I thought maybe it was too close to the strings and causing a magnetic issue of tuning. So I lowered it to where it should be on both of them. But oh. But yeah, it's nice looking from afar. It's nice from far, you know, far from good. That saying, nice from far, far from good. I'll be getting into this one a little bit later when I get through some of the other stuff. Everything is just like, it's like this, you know, like if this was a Harley Benton, this, instead of a B stock, this would probably be like a D or an E stock with all of the stuff that's on it. Not impressed. Not impressed at all with that, with this place. Not impressed at all. And I'm not sure what they did with the binding, but right along the inside of the binding down here, there's some kind of a little bleed through. It's black. I'm not sure how they got the black there. And there's a black in the white right there. Yep, a little bit of bleed there as well, and some bleed here of the black. They must have put some black on the edge before they put the binding on there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, there's 7 ply on this one. There's 7 ply of binding, and then the last black on the inside is not part of the binding, it's paint. So there's 7 plies with an 8th ply of paint right up against the yellow. Woo! Alright. See you in part 2.